ながらに近いね、アリス。父上、英雄学校についてなんですが、実はその入学金が
入学金、
30万ディアです。
30？
1週間後までに。
1週間後？
わかりました、僕が稼ぎます。
すまぬ。
今日がその初勤務の日だったんだけど。父上、母上、どうしたんですか？
お前が働く図書館なんだが。
とはいえ、僕はどうすべきでしょうね、クソ親父。父上。
クソ親父って言いかけた。むしろ言った。絶対キレてるよ、マイサー。
This is where our story begins. Noir Starga was born into a poor noble family, but luckily for him, he was born with an ultra-rare skill called Great Sage. This skill allows him to inquire any information that he wants to, but it has a big setback. When using this skill, the user gets unbearable shooting pains in their heads, also known as migraines, which prevents people from wanting to use this skill. Later that day, Noir meets up with his childhood friend Emma. She reveals that a previous great sage cured his migraines by kissing his wives, and awkwardly asks Noir to kiss her, to test out the theory. They go to a rooftop where he uses the skill to find out how to become stronger. He discovers from the great sage that immense strength is hidden in a secret dungeon. While exploring the dungeon, Noir encounters the renowned heroine Olivia, who is restrained by death chains. She imparts her abilities, including Bestow, Editor, and Get Creative, upon Noir. However, the usage of these abilities requires LP points, which are earned by experiencing satisfaction. At the entrance examination for the academy, the students are instructed to collect rare materials in groups of 3. As a mere Baroness son, Noir is ignored by most of the nobility. Emma enters the fray and they team up with Lenore Bluden. Noir goes back to the dungeon on his own, and employs Olivia's abilities to vanquish a dead Reaper. Unknowing to him, the Reaper's skull is a highly valuable material, helping his team in setting a new school record. Noir decides to become a member of the Odin Adventurers Guild. However, Lola, the receptionist, becomes angry when Noir boasts about having the same skills as Olivia, a former guild member from 2 centuries ago. She challenges him to prove it, and when he does, she is embarrassed and has to apologize and lift up her skirt, revealing her underwear. Noir's first quest from the guild is to find and capture rare rainbow grasshoppers, which he accomplishes by using the Great Sage's abilities to locate them. He earns a substantial reward of 250,000 gold for his success. Impressed by his abilities, Lola begins to develop feelings for him. On the second quest, Noir and Emma set out to hunt a massive 20-foot-tall magical creature known as the Big Rabbit. They are initially unable to defeat it, which leaves Emma feeling incompetent. Noir decides to use his Get Creative ability to enhance Emma's skills. But to generate enough LP to do this, he starts to nibble erotically on her ear. With the Big Rabbit defeated and enough money to pay his enrollment at the academy, in celebration he invites the whole guild to a feast featuring the rabbit meat that is said to be a delicacy. On the first day at the academy, Noir meets Maria Fiona Albert, the daughter of a duke. Using his discerning eye, he discovers that she is under a curse that will result in her death on her 16th birthday. Unfortunately, Noir is initially ignored by his classmates, who do not see him as their equal due to his status as a baronet, a title given to commoners for their service to the kingdom. However, Maria goes out of her way to treat him with respect. During combat training, the ex-adventurer Elnis Stongs offers an erotic prize to anyone who can successfully use a particular technique to avoid an opponent's strike. After using Get Creative as a shortcut, Noir is the only one who can execute the move, and Elna rewards him with a full-body dry hump under her buttocks, which increases his LP. Maria's curse becomes increasingly painful, and Noir is determined to find a way to cure her. However, the Great Sage informs him that he needs a significant amount of LP, which he is running low on. Without thinking, Noir kisses Emma, but he is punished by Elna for his impulsive behavior. Seeking advice from Lola, Noir learns about Luna, a renowned cleric known for her healing abilities, but is warned that she rarely deals with curses due to personal reasons. Lola pays a visit to her best friend Luna, while Noir goes to see Olivia, who he neglected to visit earlier. In order to make amends, Olivia teaches him her unique skill, Lucky Lecture, which involves using accidental perversion to generate LP. Luna joins the group and admits that she had already met Maria, but had to turn down her requests for help. Using his discerning eye ability, Noir discovers that Luna's curse lifting abilities come at a cost. They shorten her own lifespan. Surprisingly, Luna agrees to help Maria despite the risks. While healing an injured child, Luna suddenly becomes frightened, leading Noir to discover her useless skill, cowardice, which makes her more afraid the weaker her magic gets. Lola is angry that Luna kept her suffering hidden, but relieved to finally know. Noir realizes that changing Luna's lifespan skill to finances could lessen the cost of lifting curses, but it still requires a lot of LP. In order to gather LP quickly, Lola takes Noir to a secret gathering of harem pride, a cult that rates each other's girlfriends based on their attractiveness. The girlfriend's physical appearance is relentlessly criticized by the crowd. Emma, Lola, and Luna pretend to be Noir's harem, putting on romantic displays with him, which wins over the audience and earns them prize money. Noir enjoys the attention of all three girls simultaneously, raising his LP. They quickly go to Maria's house to explain to her parents why Luna was unable to lift the curse before, and what they have done to help her do so safely. Overhearing what Noir has done for her, Maria kisses him, and Luna manages to lift the curse just in time. Maria vows to repay her debt to Noir for the rest of her life, causing the other girls to become even more jealous, after realizing that she has a crush on Noir. Things get dangerous for Noir when Luna confesses that she has feelings for him as well. Later, Noir visits Olivia to share the good news, but is taken aback when Olivia demands a kiss. He can only bring himself to kiss her on the forehead. Maria's father generously pays each of them 1 million gold, which Noir plans to save for the future. He decides to open a shop selling rare monster materials, with the help of his family members, his mother, father, and sister. Noir heads to the dungeon to start collecting monster materials, and learns some useful skills from Olivia. While exploring, he encounters a pitch-black lion on level 5 and tries to escape, but the lion speaks to him. Tigerson, the lion, explains that he was friends with an elf adventurer named Vishal. They used to explore the dungeon together, but Vishal insisted on venturing alone into level 6, and disappeared 350 years ago. Tigerson still hopes that Vishal might be alive. On level 6, Noir discovers that Vishal has turned into a zombie and uses Get Creative to revive him. Vishal expresses gratitude to Tigerson for his loyalty, but decides to return home in the hopes of finding his beloved. As magical creatures are prohibited in that area, Vishal and Tigerson are compelled to say goodbye. Noir offers to be Tigerson's new friend and invites him to stay at his family home. Tigerson is warmly welcomed by Noir's family. Maria starts showing public displays of affection towards Noir. They receive news of their first exam, which requires them to collect specific monster materials, or else they'll have to attend summer school. Lola, Emma, and Luna ask for Lola's help, but they discover she's in a dispute with Sarah, another receptionist who has been stealing Lola's clients. Lola proposes a competition, where if she scores higher on the next evaluation, Sarah never steals another client. However, if Lola loses, Sarah will take Noir as a client. Using his discerning eye, Noir discovers that Sarah's skills are sadistically erotic, which terrifies him. Emma, Luna, and Noir work hard to complete as many jobs as possible, raising Lola's evaluation. However, they still can't beat Sarah, who is driving her adventurers to exhaustion to win her reward. Noir seeks Olivia's help, and she advises him to defeat the dungeon's 7th floor for its treasures. Reaching the 7th floor, Noir finds himself in an underground forest where an elf girl is watching him from the trees. Dori, a dryad girl, approaches Noir and asks for his help. She tells him that a monster is attacking her tree, draining her magic and slowly killing her. She promises to show him 2 treasure chests and the entrance to level 8 if he helps her. Noir discovers that the monster is a powerful gold bead that could kill him instantly, but he decides to help Dori anyway. In gratitude, Dori heals a small wound on his lip by kissing and licking it, raising his LP considerably. Noir then seeks Olivia's advice, who initially discourages him from risking his life for a stranger. Eventually, she tells him how to win the battle. Using Get Creative, he convinces a pack of silver wolves nearby to attack the bee. The pack is killed, but the bee is weakened enough that Noir can easily defeat it. After promising to visit Dori frequently, Noir discovers 2 rare items in the treasure chests. He gives one to Emma to strengthen her wind magic, and the other to Lola to improve her evaluation. Lola ends up winning the evaluation against Sarah, who had been stealing Lola's clients. Even though Sarah is now forbidden from stealing anyone else's clients, she still tries to seduce Noir. Emma extends an invitation for Noir to join her at a party for nobles. Unfortunately, as a baronet, Noir's father is not allowed to rent a space for Noir's shop. At the party, the Earl announces that the infamous Phantom Thief has threatened to steal his prized jewel, the Mermaid's Tear, and has hired the Lamu Guild to provide security. Emma is approached by Mike Kentel, a noble, who challenges Noir to a dance-off to determine who is the better dancer. Using his LP, Noir gains some impressive dancing skills and ultimately wins the challenge. However, things take a dark turn when the Phantom Thief arrives and steals the Mermaid's Tear, as well as kidnapping Emma. Noir and Layla overlock from Lamu chase after them. The Phantom Thief summons a phoenix, but Layla manages to defeat it, while Noir takes down the Phantom Thief. Suddenly, they are ambushed by the Phantom Thief's partner, Tom Bertholda, who declares his intention to marry Emma. A furious Noir insists that Emma is precious to him. Emma wakes up and helps Noir defeat Tom. Emma is worried that Noir might think less of her after what happened, but he reassures her with a kiss. Despite being members of rival guilds, Layla agrees to be friends with Noir. As a thank you for their help, the Earl assists Noir in opening his shop and provides him with a substantial discount on the rent. Layla enrolls in the academy and soon after, Elna announces a training camp at a nearby hot spring. On the way there, Elna instructs the students to fend off any monsters they encounter without her assistance. While on the trail, Noir nearly falls into a trap, but is warned by a friendly pixie that bandits are behind it. The pixie then offers to show them a shortcut to the hot spring, but Noir senses that she has the ability to control monsters. When the group fights off the pixie's lizardman army, Noir manages to capture the pixie. At the hot springs, the boys plot to sneak a peek at the girls while they bathe first. Noir declines to participate and runs away, but he bumps into Elna, who assists him. One of the boys, named Jort, confesses to using strength potions for this purpose. In order to protect Emma, Noir creates a skill called Powerless and gives it to Jort, successfully defeating him. However, Noir has to use more LP to stop another boy. As it turns out, the girls haven't even started bathing yet. Noir faints due to low LP, and Elna rewards him by allowing him to bathe with the girls while wearing a blindfold. Despite his low LP, Emma and Elna massage him with their chests. Noir establishes his shop, Stardian Rarities, and as a token of appreciation, he promises to release Olivia from the death chains. The Great Sage informs him that the solution lies on the 15th floor of the dungeon. Noir brings Emma along to the 14th floor, where they conquer an army of discourteous goblins. They eventually reach the 15th floor and encounter a copy of Olivia, the true form of the death chains, which possesses all of Olivia's skills. In response, they flee and ask Olivia if she has any weaknesses that the clone might share. Olivia initially refuses to disclose the information due to her jealousy towards Emma's chest size, but Noir insists that he owes her a debt for all she's done for him. She eventually admits to having nearly lost a fight once, but not understanding why. Noir investigates and learns of a battle between Olivia and a cleric named Litorine, who had the unique skill Sacrifice that temporarily enhances abilities by sacrificing already acquired skills. Noir expends 10,000 LP to develop the same skill, and as the clone confronts him, he activates Sacrifice only to discover that the clone also possesses Get Creative, which immobilizes him with a superior version of his own sword clone. Olivia reflects on an incident that occurred 200 years prior, where a young man died because of her inadequate guidance. Meanwhile, Noir is still in combat with Olivia's clone when Emma, Lola, Luna, and Layla arrive on the scene. While their collective assault effectively shatters the clone's sword, they are suddenly afflicted with a fever bestowed upon them by the clone. The clone also afflicts Noir with a sluggish status, and alters his stone bullet skill. Recognizing that the clone is much more imaginative than he is, Noir sacrifices all of his other skills, except for Get Creative, Editor, Bestow, and Sacrifice, in order to gain the necessary advantage to continue fighting. In retaliation, the clone unleashes a fire dragon on Noir, but he slices through it and sets his sword ablaze, finally delivering the finishing blow. The girls then help to restore Noir's LP once they recover. Noir proceeds to visit the dungeon, where Olivia expresses her gratitude and embraces him for his efforts. Ultimately, Olivia informs Noir that with the death chains now vanquished, he can continue exploring the remaining floors of the dungeon.